Good evening, folks. This is probably going to be the last fireside video of the season. It is quite cool in here. Well, it was. I started a fire. It was down to, I don't know, I think 63 in here. Because when I left at, I got up at 1 o'clock this morning and was at work at 3:30. And when I left some windows open, and it was quite chilly and breezy and cloudy today. So when I got home, I closed the windows, went out in the garden, checked things out there, tended to the birds, and decided I was going to start a fire tonight before I went to bed. So here we are. Now, my tripod is up in the garden, and I'm in my jammies, so I wasn't going to traipse on all the way up to the other end of the garden to grab the tripod, so I've got it propped up here with a hand garden tool on a 5-gallon bucket. So if it flops over, I'll edit it out. So, I've been quite neglectful, folks, on responding to comments, and I haven't even checked my email, folks. Like I said, I've been up since 1 this morning, and I don't know, it's got to be close to 10 o'clock right now, so it's been a long day. But I figured while I had a fire going, I would do a short video. Now, there's been a lot of questions, and I will get to them, but I'm only going to address 2 tonight. You probably have seen and realized that I wear a lot of neon colors. Now, there's a few reasons for that. One, when I got a bunch of t-shirts at Walmart several years ago, they were really cheap. They were like $3 a piece, so I just grabbed an armload of them and brought them home and figured that I would use them for outside work. $3 if they get ripped and torn and stained and whatever, and then I'm not out that much money. And another reason, it's an actual reason, but I joke about it to everybody. And for those people that do not have birds, they don't understand. If something should happen to me, and I should just leave this world in my yard with free-range birds, because they're penned up now, but except for the geese are running around. That when, if I were to croak out in the yard with free-range birds, about time their food runs out and they start getting hungry, it is well-known fact that birds of any kind will go for the eyes of something that has died. Now, it's always kind of haunted me, and that would be an awful thing to die out in the yard and somebody find me with my eyes pecked out, right? So, wearing bright neon colors, if somebody goes by, they're gonna see me. And they can probably get to me before the birds poked my eyes out. Now, there's a downside to wearing bright neon orange, yellow, and greens and whatnot, is you can't hide from people. If you don't want company and somebody pulls in the yard, they're going to see bright orange or bright yellow or bright green. You can't hide, folks. So I stick out like a sore thumb, so That's the downside of it. So that's why I wear the neon colored, either a bandana or a shirt or a shirt. One, they were just cheap bum around clothes that I really didn't care if they got stained or not. And the running joke is, I'd like to have somebody find me before my eyes got pecked out by my own birds, right? Now, another comment that it's no matter where I go, even the job that I'm doing, even anywhere I go, just anywhere I go, the comments on here and the people in my personal life and my coworkers. I got it 3 times today, folks. Just 3 times in just today is the comment is, I do not know where you get all your energy. Well, folks, I am going to be turning either 56 or 57 at the beginning of, well, I think like the first week and a half of June. So I'm not a spring chicken, and I live a very hard life. It's a very physical life. There's a lot of everything. There's a lot of lugging, hauling, tugging, pushing. There's just a lot of physical aspects to how I live, and I think that keeps me in pretty good shape. Now, there are sprees where I go and I don't sleep very well, but that is hardly ever during gardening and wood season, firewood season. So I could go all day on one meal at the end of the day. I like to have my coffee in the morning, and I drink water all day long, but I could do firewood for hours and hours and hours, and I could go in my garden and I could be hauling sod, I could be raking, I could be shoveling, I could be building trellises, I could be doing all of that all day long without eating my coffee in the morning, and as long as I stay hydrated, I only eat the one meal a day. So a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people need to eat periodically, right? And if you have low blood sugar, you understand that fully. I do not. But my body only requires one meal a day, and that's at the end of the day. And even going 10, 12, 14 hours right straight with firewood or gardening, yeah, without eating. That's just how I am wired, I guess. So, I don't know where I get my energy. I think it's because I have a drive to get things done, and that overpowers a lot of everything else. Now, a lot of you know that I've got pretty significant arthritis, and that hurts an awful lot. For those of you who have arthritis, you know that your hands don't want to work some days, and your body hurts, and your back hurts, and your knees, your hips, whatever it is that's where you've got arthritis, it hurts. But the worst thing you can do is to stop. If you stop and give into that pain, it takes so much more to get back going, because as soon as you stop, you start stiffening up, right? And then you've got to limber back up and you've got to work through that pain again. So I think for me, a driving factor is my arthritis, because I know if I keep going throughout the day, I'm going to avoid that stiffness and pain. If I work a couple hours and sit down and take a break, it's just not worth going through that all over again, because I go through that first thing in the morning. It takes me quite a while to loosen up and to get over that pain, right? So, and sometimes the pain just doesn't go away. It just doesn't. It's there with you for the day. But we can't let things like that stop us, because when we let that win, we have started to lose, right? That's how I look at it. Now, there are some days where I can't do hardly anything with my hands, that they don't have the strength. My fingers don't want to bend, and they're pained all day long, so I carry my buckets a little differently. Sometimes I have to carry half buckets of water, so, or half armloads of wood. You've got to meet your body where it is, but you can't give into it. Now, if you've got something very significant where you are going to damage your body, if you've got a torn this or that, and you overwork it, then that's a different story. But arthritis is going to be there, whether you're being productive or you're just sitting around, right? So I think that's one of the driving factors. And I think another driving factor is, living the way I do, and living the way some of us do. Now, you homesteaders get it. You farmers, you get it, that you're never ever caught up. And that to-do list appears to be getting longer, and you're not crossing them off as fast as you think you should. And then new priorities come up, and then the weather comes up, or whatever, right? So just to maintain the behind to-do list is a full-time job, folks. So, if you've got a good work ethic and you're determined to get X, Y, and Z done, if you make excuses why you're not getting them done, or if you get overwhelmed and you back off, and you're not going to get it done. You're not going to get it done. Now, I know I'm a go-getter. I know what I want, and I'm not afraid to work for it at all. So, like this morning, I get up at 1:30. I was at work and working at 3:30 this morning. I got done at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I came home. I forgot my buckets, folks, and my little spade, my 2.5-foot spade, to dig up fiddleheads. So, I went right by that fiddlehead patch and didn't have anything to dig them up with, and didn't have anything to carry them with, and so that'll have to be another day. It's not a good time of year to transplant them anyway, but I was going to try. I did transplant one a week ago, and it's doing marvelous, folks. So it can be done. So even though I was up at 1 and put in a real hard physical day at work, I came home and I walked through my garden, and I grabbed 2 buckets, 2 5-gallon buckets, and I went out and scrounged up, I think it was 5 buckets, as tightly as I could pack them, of downed pine sprills to mulch around my cabbage. And let's see what else I did. I tended to the birds, and I got an armload of wood and hauled water. And then I came in, I don't know, it must have been 7:30, I guess it was. And no, I wanted to get a little bit more done out in the garden, so I went and fooled around with more sawdust compost and pulling weeds. If I'm tired, just because I put in a long, hard day and there's still daylight, I still try to go out there and do something. So I guess that's okay for my body. I guess it is, because it'll let me know when it's not, right? So I guess that's that. I don't know where I get my energy from. I don't drink coffee usually during the day at all. I don't drink it in the evening. And tonight, actually, I haven't even eaten supper yet. So I haven't eaten all day, folks. And it's getting too late for me to eat now. So I think I'm just going to end this video, and I'm going to load it up, and then I will go to bed without eating today. Now I've had a lot of water today. I drink about a gallon of water, but if I am out doing physical work out in the sun or in the heat, I'll drink a couple gallons anyways of water. So I do still stay well hydrated, folks. So anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that, but I hope you enjoyed the last fireside video of the season, and I am going to load this up, and then I think I will go to bed. So I'll probably go to bed about, I don't know, 11:30 or midnight, I guess, probably. So there's a couple of responses to comments, and I know there's a lot of questions out there that I have not responded to, but I will, folks, okay? I will. So y'all have a good night, and see you in the next video. Thanks for coming back.